Welcome back to Let's Play Zelda Classics Stranded. I'm Nitro6003, and today we're going to take out level 9. And this level is not friendly to you in any way, shape, or form. Your best weapon in this level is the feather and your sword beams, because you have a four-headed Gleeok right here. Now the good thing is that the main heads, the ones that are attached to the Gleeok body, cannot hit you from where it is right now. The only thing that can hit you is the floating heads. So as long as you realize that, you should be fine. And if you take your time, even if you do get hit by the fire, it's okay because you have a level 3 heart ring and it should be fine. Keyword there, should be. And there is one of the keys that you're going to need. Now, what's going to make this level hard, besides the fact that there's fire Gleeoks everywhere, or not everywhere, but fire Gleeoks, mirror robes, let's see, you got pt18s. You're going to have to learn how to deal with all this if you want to have any chance of beating this level. And you do want to go to the right first. Now, these mirror robes, you only get the map for, and the map could be a little helpful for you to show you what rooms you haven't been in, but basically it's a full 8x8 grid. So you don't have to get it if you don't want. And even touching the mirror robe itself is 4 hearts of damage. Now, the hard part of this level isn't the mirror robes themselves as much as it is the fact that I think there's 4 to 5 pt18s in here. You thought pt18 was annoying? pt18s are worse. So there's your map, and that's a very helpful map, let me tell you. So with that, you can now realize that you're going to be going into pretty much every square on this 8x8 grid. And don't waste your potions per se. Give your health a chance to recharge, and if you have to use them on the Patras, then go ahead, but be aware that the mirror robes will respawn each and every time. So as long as you are aware of that, and right now I'm just kind of letting my health recharge, because if I were to go in there with the statue shooters and the fire Gleeok, I wouldn't say definitely game over, but I'd have a much better chance of game overing from inside the room. I'd much rather fight him from the safety of the doorway. And basically the only thing that can hurt you is the actual flying heads. The Gleeok itself can't do anything to you because he's too far away. So now you want to continue to the right here and just ignore those mirror robes. I mean, if they get in your way, that's one thing, but just leave them alone. You don't get anything for killing them. You can't stun them. So just leave them alone. And you know what? I'm going to need my feather anyway. So just use your feather. And that's why you want the feather. It's such a good item because you could jump over locked door. I mean, you don't jump over the lock, but you can jump over things and, you know, quickly get into a room or quickly get out of trouble or whatever the case may be. So, and this room is pretty much free refills for you. And these guys will always respawn, so there shouldn't be any reason that you have any trouble in this room, because there's plenty of refills for you. And even if you do have trouble going, if you know, in the next room, you just have to come back here and go in and out and let the Lammolas respawn, because they will respawn. So here is the first of many Patra 3s, and your feather is your best friend against this guy. And if you do get hit, which you may, some people are better at fighting them than I am, you know, just do your best you can and try to jump as much as you can. The problem is if he corners you, you're going to game over. There's really nothing you can do. And I may want to use a potion here. We'll see. Yep, I'm going to use my potion here. I'll go restock it afterward. You know, you're given potions in this level for a reason. And depending on how hurt you get in this Patra 3 fight, even if you use both potions, which I look like I'm gonna do, because you see the thing is he pushes you back. So I am gonna use both of my potions against him. I'm not as good as at evading him as others. Alright, so he won't respawn. I'm going to F6 back to the start because I want to restock my potions while I can, number one. And number two, he will not respawn, but and so far nothing that all the things I have killed will not respawn either. The only thing that will respawn is the mirror robes, but again, you don't have to kill them, so leave them alone. And yeah, the Lamolas respawn. Again, free refills for you. And you might do better against the Patra than I did. I mean, I want you guys to do better than I do, of course. That's why I'm helping you guys through the game as best I can. And the other reason why you want to keep doing this is because you'll get your money back for your potions, so you can always restock them. You only need 34 rupees to restock your potions. And so yeah, he does not respawn. So if you have trouble, which you might, you know, just do the best you can. And I believe these guys also will respawn each time. So if you go up here, you'll find this guy quite a bit as well. You actually want to go down, because look at this mess that you find yourself in. One mirror robe, and I believe there are 5 or 6 fire robes. And I would say use the half tile against him, but if he misses you, that's actually not good. You actually want him to shoot at you, because that's the only way to hurt him. You know, the wand doesn't hurt him. The fire boomerang can't stun him. So yeah, these rooms with the whiz robes will always respawn for the most part. You know, if they were regular bosses, then they would not respawn. And having your feather is actually a really good item to have against mirror robes, because if they try to trap you, which they usually do, then you could just jump out of the way. And you get these guys again. So these guys will also respawn, I believe. Yeah, your feather is your best friend in this whole level. So just continue following this down. Oh, an actual easy room. Yes. You still get Dodongos, believe it or not. But... and it should pretty much be free bomb refills for you. And I believe the Dodongos will also respawn, as Dodongos usually do. But the major bosses, the Patras, the Gleoks, they will not. So even if you had to fight these guys again, it should be pretty easy for you because you've dealt with far worse. The one bad thing about these dark nuts is that they home in on you, and they can be dangerous too. But again, your goal is to get through all the Patras, and I know there's a Patra 3 right next door to this room. So let's see how I do this time. And yes, the door closes behind you. Isn't that great? Isn't that nice? So you can't even like sit in the doorway. Oh, I didn't restock my potions. That's not good. You know what? I'm going to F6 back to the start and do what I should have done before, restock my potions. Thought I did. But luckily some of the enemies will not respawn, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm not going to do very well against a Patra 3 with half a heart. And I can easily buy another potion if necessary. And I don't mind going back for potions. And feel free to do that, you know, if it makes you feel better. And more power to you if you are able to do this without it. I know there are people that can. So here in this room we have the land molas. And they drop plenty of money for you. I think I've already paid for my potion. And I don't believe there's anything else other than potions to buy at this point. I think you've bought all the major items. Everything else you find. And by the way, the gold ring is in this quest. The gold arrow is in this quest. It's very similar to randomizer in what items and you get. The only item you don't get that you would get in randomizer, well, there's a couple. You don't get the flippers, which would be quite helpful to you. And just bypass those guys. See, these guys will respawn each time, but now this is the only room that you don't want a clock in, because it will not help you. You know, how weird is that to say? A room full of wizrobes and having a clock is not a good thing. Whoa. I think I got hit by him like twice there. Hence why my health is so low. But I have some time before I get to the Patra 3 for my health to recharge a little bit. And yes, you have to kill these guys again. So that's really the only problem with F6ing back to the start, is that you have to deal with these guys all over again. Imagine if you didn't have the mirror shield for some reason or another. You'd be screwed. You'd have to go find it. And here's the Dodongo room. So I am in a little bit better shape now, plus I have the potions to deal with this guy now. And you do have to kill him. There's really no way around it. And as I said, you cannot get the red ring until you beat the level, so it does not matter. You're going to be cursing at this level pretty quickly, but I will not. Even if I use all my potions at once on each patch of 3. So before you go into the passage, I'm going to go get another potion. Because that is not the last patch of 3 you see. So you want to, if you need to keep doing this over and over again, you can. It really does not matter. Now, the good thing is that, you know, the Landmolas will keep respawning, so, you know, worst comes to worst, you just get them to help you out. So again, leave the mirror robes alone. Only kill them if you have to. If you don't have to, just leave them be. You know the old saying about wasp nests where if they're not bothering you, don't bother them? Well, it's kind of the same thing with mirror robes. If they don't bother you, leave them alone. Because it's only going to cause you pain and suffering. Because their sting is worse than a wasp sting. If that's humanly possible to even say. I mean, because they do 4 hearts of damage to you. So now that all the patches are gone, we can make our way back here. And yes, these guys will respawn also, but you know, there's really not much you could do about that. Yeah, you don't want to clock in this room. Because you'll just have to leave it and come back anyway. By the way, this is not the finale. I'm going to give away a little bit. There is more after this level. This is not the final level because there's obviously stuff you're A, missing, and B, there's that Aquamentus statue. And this is how you handle it. So, with the Patras dead and 2 potions in hand, that makes this part a little bit better. And if they look like they're gonna swarm you, just get out of the way because, again, they do 4 hearts of damage. And I don't think it matters if you have a gold ring, blue ring, red ring. I don't think it matters. I saw you trying to sneak up on me. You're not going to succeed. You hear me? Yeah, I'm going to deflect your own magic back at you. And it's better if you could deal with one at a time, but they don't always like to cooperate with you. And there will be a point where there's 3 of them, so you really need to learn how to deal with these guys. And, you know, when you see a room of Dodongos, you're like breathing a sigh of relief. You know, it's only a Dodongo. So it's pretty linear of a dungeon. There's not a lot you can skip. So now that the Patra is dead, so yep, these bubbles mean nothing to me. So you see there's something in this room. And yeah, there's a single mirror up here. And you don't get anything for killing this guy, but the door closes, so you kind of have to. And just be careful where he teleports. So back in this room, you saw that there was a portal here. So first thing you want to try is your whistle. And when that doesn't work, you want to try pushing blocks. And a single dig dodger head. And in this room, you do want to blow your whistle. So just continue on here. I think we're done with Patra 3s for a little while. Not long, but at least a little while to be done with Patra 3s. But you're not done with these guys, that's for sure. And they respawn each and every time. It's kind of a pain, but I mean, they're relatively easy rooms for you. So that's a good thing. Oop. Wasn't being careful. All right, so this next room here is a doozy because you have the Landmolas and you have no way of hiding the doorway, which is kind of unfortunate. But, and by the way, they will also always respawn, so if you need more stuff, and right now I'm just kind of throwing my arrow and my boomerang out to kind of help with the bubbles, but again, bubbles mean nothing to me because I have the whispering. Now this room is a pain. Just fire your arrow as fast as possible until the door opens. All right, so here you have a boss key door and you can't do anything about it. So just keep that as a mental note, and you actually want to walk to the left. And you need a key. And if you notice, there's invisible blocks. So you have another key. And yeah, there's more fake blocks here. So you want to, again, oh, friendly room for once, or kind of. Dealing with bat robes is not anywhere near as bad. Even if they bring their bomb chew friends, you should be pretty much at full health when this room is done. Full health, full magic. Make sure you have 3 keys. You're not going to get very far without them. Now, I'm not sure how you're supposed to know that this passage exists, because there's really nothing that tells you. Because if you look at your wand, well, I guess that tells you, and you can kind of see it from the edge, but I don't know, that's kind of nasty, if you ask me. And yeah, these guys will also respawn. And just tank your way through this room. And yeah, the Limolas respawn also. Good luck with this level, guys. That's all I gotta say. You know, if you have to F6, use potions, use whatever, all your resources that you normally use when playing Zelda at this point. Because this dungeon is, and it doesn't get any easier after this either. I mean, it gets a little bit better because you have the red ring, but again, it's assumed that you have the red ring, so if you don't, you're in trouble. And yeah, you're gonna have to fight the mirror robes again. And that's why you want to find the 3 keys first. Because could you imagine if you didn't find the 3 keys and you had to come back and defeat the mirror robes? It just makes your life really hard. But it's a Zelda game. It's supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, it would be not worth playing. Oh. So yeah, these guys are going to always respawn. And you're going to have to come back here because in order to get the red ring. So you're going to have to go through this all again. Come on. Come after me. Hello. The good thing about finding mirror robes is that, you know, because the rooms are kind of nice, you don't have to worry. Just quickly go through this room and go into the next room. And don't ignore the Octoroks, just continue going. I mean, you can try to take them out from the doorway if you like. Luckily, these Dark Nuts don't respawn. I guess you could get the boss key and then go get the red ring, but then you still have to go through. You might as well beat the level first, because by the time you get the boss key, you're done with the level. So you might as well do that first. you know, finish the level, F6 back to the start, and then go get the red ring. So just in case you want, you can always, you know, take these guys out from the doorway. I don't believe these guys respawn. I'm not 100% sure. I guess what you could do is kill one of them and then come back and see if all four... Yeah, see, they don't all respawn, so you could just leave one in this room if you like. So again, taking your time and killing these guys now is not necessarily a bad idea. So with 3 keys in hand, you fight one of these guys, Superman Handler. But Superman Handler goes down pretty quickly too. And this room is good for you for refills, should you need it. There's not a heck of a lot you could screw up in this dungeon, which is really nice. Hello. And then there's this guy. Yeah, you're not done with Patro 3s either. Are you getting tired of fighting him? You should be. But the good thing is once you kill them, they don't come back, ever. At least that time I only had to use 1 potion on them instead of 2. So here is where you find 3 mirror robes. Yeah, I see what you're trying to do. Yeah, you want to use the feather in this room. You don't want to go 1 on 3. So that's basically what this is. This is a 1 on 3 with 3 mirror robes. Use your... And yes, they hurt. But they also will respawn, so... Oh. Almost got hit there. But at least a 1 on 2 I can kind of handle. So now you just kind of want to continue following the path here. And luckily for you, there's more bats here, so essentially more free refills for you. Bat rope keys. They've been good since the beginning of the game for that kind of stuff. All right, so now you're on a pretty linear path now. There's really not much you can mess up. Alright, so here in this room, besides fire Octoroks and land molas and stuff like that, there's really no clue on necessarily where to go from here. You would think you should go down, but you really don't. You don't want to go down. There's nothing there other than a mirror robe. And again, I don't want. If I don't have to fight extra mirror robes, better for me. So, this is really just about playing the quest before you do anything, is because you could test things out before playing it. But basically, if you go right there, you are in the room directly below that. So, and just some simple Moldorms, palette swap Moldorms. Again, pretty much a free pass because the door is open, so you don't actually have to kill them if you don't want. And because I don't want to deal with the mirror robe, I'm just gonna leave it alone. You don't get anything for killing it, and it really doesn't help you anyway. So finally you're in a room that you can handle with a simple dig dodger. You know, after all the other stuff that you've faced so far in this level, you're probably happy to see a dig dodger and Superman handlers and stuff like that. You're probably thrilled to see them over mirror robes and Patra 3s and Gleok and Fire Gleoks and etc. So nothing in this room, just continue going down. And this room looks scary, but it really isn't. Because remember, you have things that can take care of blue whiz robes. And it's kind of scary when blue whiz robes are not the bane of your existence. As they usually are in most Zelda games. You usually don't want to see blue whiz robes. Usually you're just like, blue whiz robes, I don't like them. Yeah, usually you don't, but you know what? In this quest, not a bad thing. And luckily these Darkonauts hone them in on you, so they get themselves a nice line to kind of kill themselves in a way. Now, you could look, but there's nothing right now for you in that room. So hopefully you have at least a bomb to go this way. And yeah, you got more of these guys. And if you can kill them from a distance with your fire boomerang, better for you. Oh, clock. Nice. Free pass through Octorok craziness. And now again, you're basically kind of following the path in a way. And here's another free room of refills for you, should you need it. Now the door is open, so you don't actually have to kill these guys, but you might as well. There's 10 bat robes. And you can see how much magic I'm getting. And I am killing the bat robes with the wand, or at least I'm trying to. Because it's a one-hit KO on the bat robes. Now you don't get Dim's Fire or Neuro's Love or any of that stuff. So none of your magic spells, I don't believe. Yeah, you don't get the magic spells like you do in Randomizer. So that's probably the one problem. I mean, if you get Neuro's Love, you know, the Patra 3s become a joke. And the reason, and again, the only reason I'm killing them is for refills. And him I can kill from the safety of the doorway. But he's not hard, he'll home in on you. So just use your hammer, timing right, You cannot break his shield. And push those blocks together for more bat robes here. And that's why I suggested when you get the boss key not to F6 to go get the red ring. You might as well finish the dungeon first. And hello, Wizrobe family. You have the entire Wizrobe family here, accompanied by none other than a mirror robe. And the mirror robe is dead. And I'm still at full health and I still have a potion. Yeah, there's a wind robe. You don't want to get sent back to the start here. Definitely don't, because you're pretty much done. Kinda. So there is one more Patra 3. But again, you don't want to have to do this whole thing all over again. And it's more painful to just, you know, you might as well kill the Patra first. And just keep an eye on the two mirror robes. Like I said, this dungeon's pretty straightforward. I mean, you obviously have to know there's something here, and this is where you find your boss key. And you guessed it, there is another Patra. But not before you deal with manhandlas. And luckily for you, you can kill them from the doorway. So you can kind of cheese them out in a way, get your full health, and just take them out from the safety of the doorway. I mean, I don't know why you would chase them. I mean, you can if you want. I mean, nothing's stopping you, I suppose. There's the Superman handle done. And get rid of the green one. There's the red one, the blue one. And there's your Patra 3. So he can swarm the doorway for you. But the good thing about this Patra 3 is that you can take him from the doorway. You can actually hurt him from the doorway. So that's what I'm saying. You might as well take him out first, because you're pretty much done. So the only thing I didn't get is the compass. And here you have a Superman, an invisible Superman handler. So again, why not fire from the doorway? And why make this any harder for yourself? And if the Superman handle happens to get in the way of my sword beams, I won't be too upset with that. And even if he doesn't, then I will take my time and use my lens to find him. And I think he's already dead, or pretty much already dead. Yeah, he's dead. So, moving along. Yep. So now I'm going to F6 back to the start and go get my red ring and call it a video. So this should not take very long to get back there, but first I'm going to go get a potion in case something bad happens. along the way. I have plenty of money. This will definitely be one of my longest videos to date. But quite a few of the last levels in this quest are just like this, 8x8 grids. So just ignore the mirror robes so we can go get the red ring and call it a day. And it's not terrible backtracking to get the red ring. Oh, you know what? Now that I have the wand and book, this room is even easier. Because I can use the fire from the wand to kill the the landmolas. I'm not going to go into the Aquamenta statue today. We'll start that in the next part. But yeah, so basically, you have to get in order to get the red ring, you have to beat the entire level. And yeah, thankfully the wand still works, even though it shoots fire now. So now it's just a matter of backtracking to that room. And it's a pretty straight path. I mean, there's really not a lot you can mess up on the way. Yeah, your feather is really your best friend against mirror robes. It is against Patra 3s also. I'm just not good enough at evading them. And yes, you're gonna have to fight the Dodongos again, but that's not a big deal. Come on. Thankfully, the green dark nuts don't respawn. And thankfully, the Patras don't respawn either. Could you imagine how hard this level would be if every boss respawned on you? I guarantee you more people would game over, or would have to learn, or I would have to do a better job at learning how to get that. I would have to do a better job of evading the Patra 3. So, and it's not like it's close either. And thankfully you have a level 3 magic ring, so essentially nothing should be too expensive for you anymore. Yep, you gotta kill the land molas again. And you know, again, you should pretty much get enough free refills here to compensate for any losses you may get in this room. So now that you have the boss key, you can come here, and yeah, you find 3 green dark nuts, but again, not a big deal, because they home in on you so nicely that, you know, you could take them out from the comfort of the doorway. So our official time to the red ring, 7 hours, 48 minutes. So now we can have 6 back to the start. All right, so join me next time as we take out the Aquamenta statue and see what else we can do. I'm Nitro6003. I'll see you guys all next time.